Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be discussing whether or not you should carry other weapons on your belt if you are working armed security. Credibility, a lot of subscribers or people that watch these types of videos, they're looking for credibility. I don't have the best looking videos out there. I could do better, maybe with a better camera system. I don't have a really good introductory video with all types of graphics. I don't have a lot of subscribers, but credibility-wise, I've used every single weapon on my belt, unfortunately. Baton, it's not to be used as a deadly weapon, but I have used a baton in such a defensive way that it was likely to cause death or serious bodily injury. I have hit people over the face or the head with it, and that's to stop a deadly threat. Everything on my belt, you name it, I've used it. So I know more or less when you would need any weapon that most security officers carry on their belt. I don't just talk on YouTube and have no credibility, have no experience. Okay, I talk the talk and I walk the walk. My suggestion for you is to carry as many weapons, as many de-escalation tools on your belt that the state allows you to carry. In particular, in the state of California, you're allowed to carry a taser without a license. You should have some training. I cover a taser in another video, by the way. You should carry pepper spray as a de-escalation tool, so you don't have to use your firearm. You should carry a baton. If you carry a firearm, you should carry a baton. I see many security officers out there, they carry a taser and they also have the firearm, and they wrongfully believe just because you have a taser that means you don't have to carry a baton. No, you should carry everything on you, okay? The taser might fail and you might have to resort to a baton. A baton per se, just by itself, with being in the hands of most people, is considered a deadly weapon. But for a private security officer who's trained, it's not really a deadly weapon because you know exactly where to strike. Okay, you know to strike in the non-vital areas. You're going to learn that at baton school if you haven't taken that type of training already. But imagine you have multiple people coming after you. You may not be justified to use a firearm. Well, you could use your baton, and you could take down a lot of people with the use of one baton. A couple of swings, you could hit a couple of people in some very sensitive areas that will cause them to stop fighting. It's going to cause them to change their mind. If you own a security company out there, I hope that you are requiring your officers to carry all of the de-escalation tools on their belt that the state allows. And when I talk about de-escalation tools, I'm talking about all the tools that lead up to a firearm. All the tools that may not necessarily cause death or great bodily injury. I'm talking about pepper spray, baton, taser. Okay, these things your officer should carry. Now, if you're an officer, security officer, and your employer doesn't really tell you what kind of de-escalation tools you need, I still recommend that you carry everything. Most security officers don't realize is that if you get into a shooting, the agency that will be investigating is going to either collect all of the items on your duty belt, everything on it, including your uniform. Don't be surprised if they take your uniform, your gun belt, everything. Or they might just take pictures. Okay? They're more likely inclined to take your duty belt. What they want to do is show that you had all these options on your belt and that you considered these options and you had nothing but the unfortunate consequence of using the deadly weapon. That's what they want to prove. Are they able to prove that every time? No. Okay. Show the officers out there, show the jurisdiction that's investigating your case that you had all the tools available and you considered each tool, even if it's split of a second. Okay, make sure that you show them you considered everything Okay, and deadly weapon, your firearm, was the last resort because not everything else was considered, or you used other items but they failed. Okay, with a taser in a deadly force situation, police officers, they typically have a less lethal option and a lethal option. They have a guy with a taser, a guy with a gun, especially when there's a guy with a knife. The taser doesn't work, the guy with the firearm resorts to deadly force. With private security, it's a lot different. Okay, it's a lot different because you probably don't have that backup. Okay, if I'm working private security and I have a guy chasing me with a knife, I am not, and I repeat, I am not going to use a taser. You're out of your mind. Police officers out there, law enforcement, they're trained to only use a taser in a lethal force situation if there's a lethal force option, meaning there's another officer available. Okay, you're going to have to explain that maybe to law enforcement. If you waive your right to self-incrimination, maybe with attorney present, you're going to have to explain that you thought about the taser, but there wasn't another officer, security officer, available with a less lethal option. Law enforcement is supposed to understand that. You also have to be able to maybe testify or tell the officers that taser, you're trained in taser training, that it's not 100% effective. I mean, if you miss a prong, if a prong is not well connected into the person, it does not complete a full circuit, and you do not have the NMI, that neuromuscular incapacitation. Okay, that is what we need for them to just stop what they're doing. Everything collapse. They stop what they're doing because everything collapses and they fall to the ground, or they just stiffen up and they're unable to become a deadly threat to you. Pepper spray. You guys might have an aggressive dog on your property chasing you, running after you. Okay, I don't think in every circumstance you should have to resort to pepper spray, especially if it's an aggressive dog about to bite you. But maybe they're moving slowly in. The dog is moving slowly in towards you, and you have that time to use pepper spray. Okay, maybe you have the time to use a baton. Now, I've had to use different weapons on aggressive animals, so I understand that pepper spray might not work, a taser might not work, and you might have to resort to a firearm, but that's something that you don't want to have to resort to. Okay, carry every weapon that you can. Don't go out there and listen to these people on different YouTube channels, maybe different security academies, and persuade them into telling you that all you need is a firearm. No, if you get a firearm permit, you should get a baton permit, pepper spray permit, and some taser training as well. Okay. One last non-lethal force option that I didn't discuss right now in the beginning was nonverbal skills. Okay, use your nonverbal. That is the most effective tool in your toolbox, is your ability to persuade others to give up, ability to persuade others to reason with you, ability to persuade others that dealing with you violently is not the right thing to do. Okay, there are some people that have that gift. If you don't have that gift, then you got to get trained. Okay, get some nonverbal communication out there. Hope you guys liked this video. If you have any questions, please ask. I would like to answer anything that you have as it pertains to the topic of this video. Like, subscribe, press the bell notification so you don't miss an important update. You guys, be safe out there. It's a dangerous world, okay?